I would never buy a home in Texas if it had this one thing, and I'm going to tell you exactly what that is. But more importantly, I'm going to walk through what actually matters on a home inspection, because most buyers get this completely wrong. They see a 40-page inspection report and they panic. They don't know what's normal, they don't know what's a deal breaker, but today I'm gonna break it all down for you, specifically for buying a home here in Mansfield or across North Texas. Hey friends, I'm Stephanie Deeds. I'm the broker, owner of Point Realty, and team leader of the Deeds Group. I have personally guided my clients through more than 700 home inspections right here in the DFW area, helping on both sides of the transaction. I'm helping buyers understand what they're really looking at and helping sellers navigate inspection negotiations with confidence. So I have seen it all. The things that look scary but aren't, the things that don't look scary but absolutely should concern you. And here's the truth, no home is perfect. Even a home that is in a brand new construction community, has never been lived in, and they just built it last week, is not going to be perfect. Every inspection will have items on it, but knowing how to interpret that report and how to respond to it is what can make or break a transaction sometimes. So let's talk about what actually matters, especially in Texas, because our homes here in Texas go through things that other homes in other states just don't. Just like things in other states are important there and not here. So if you're not paying attention to these, it can cost you thousands. So let's start with one of the biggest things, the roof. In North Texas, this is huge. We deal with extreme heat, hailstorms, high winds, and all of that can beat up a roof faster than you think. Now, here's what most buyers don't realize. A roof does not have to be leaking in order to be a problem. If a roof is older, even if it's still functioning, it can drastically affect your home insurance premiums. I have seen buyers fall in love with a home only to find out that their insurance is hundreds more per month because of the roof age. So on an inspection report, you want to look at the age of the roof, signs of hail damage, shingle wear or granule loss. Minor wear on an older roof, probably pretty normal. But the red flags you're looking for are active leaks, major storm damage, or a roof that's nearing full replacement with no coverage. Okay, and let me just say this, who should be looking for those things? Not actually you. If your home inspector says that there are concerns on the roof, you need to call a roofer, and not just someone who says roofer on the side of his truck, someone who has been in the business for long enough to know how to get up on that roof and tell you truly if there's a problem, if there's not, what the problems are, what the reality is for age of the roof and what kind of condition it's in. Because the thing that a lot of people don't realize is when you say 30-year roof, in some states you can have a 30-year roof. In Texas, it's very, very unlikely that a roof is going to go 30 years because of all the things that we just discussed, which is the extreme heat, the hail damage, the storms, the high winds. In other areas, a roof may work for 30 years. So, can they last a long time? Yes. Are they gonna last for 30 years? Maybe not. But who gets to decide that? The roofer is who you need to defer to for their expertise. Okay, now the next one, this is another big one in Texas, foundation. When I say the word foundation, sometimes people just panic. You don't have to panic, but what you do need is to understand. We have clay soil here, which means it expands when it's wet and it shrinks when it's dry. And in Texas, we go from one extreme to another. Wet, dry, so movement is gonna happen. Small hairline cracks, totally normal. Minor settling, also normal. What's not normal is large cracks, doors that won't close, floors that are sloping, cracking tiles, windows that are off center, or any signs of major repairs that don't have any documentation. And I always tell my clients, foundation issues don't have to be a deal breaker, but they are something you need to fully understand before moving forward. The other thing you need to understand about foundation is not just from an inspection perspective, but as a homeowner, you need to learn how to take care of your foundation. When we talk about the wet, dry, that's why it's important to water around your foundation. And just the same way I said that you need to have a roofer that's going to come out and look at your roof, use a trusted foundation company that's referred by someone like me who's been in this industry for a long time and knows who is going to give you good advice and who's just going to try to sell you peers. So call me if you have a question so that I can refer you to a great foundation person that's going to give you the right advice. Because like I said, it doesn't have to be a deal breaker. If there's just one corner of the house that maybe needs to be lifted a little bit, we can fix that. That's not that big of a problem. But there could be bigger issues that we're not aware of. Okay, now let's talk about something that you will absolutely feel in Texas, and that is your HVAC system. We're talking about 100+ degree summers here in Texas. Your AC is not optional, it is essential. So when you're reviewing an inspection, look at the age of the unit, make sure that it's cooling efficiently, check the maintenance history. An older unit that's still working, that can be okay. But a system that's struggling or near the end of its life with no plan, that's a red flag. Because replacing HVAC is not a small expense. So one of the pet peeves I have in inspection reports is when inspectors say it's nearing the end of its life. That's a fair comment for an HVAC unit that's 20+ years old. Is it still functioning? Is it still doing its job? In that case, maybe we're not asking for a replacement. But if it's not actually working, then that age does make a difference. And those are the things that buyers need to understand. Just because it's old doesn't mean that it can't function. Just because it's not old doesn't mean it is functioning. Okay, so next up, let's move on to plumbing. So yes, we are in Texas, but we do get freezes. I was just talking about 100+ degree summers, but we do actually get freezes here from time to time. And pipes and exterior walls are especially vulnerable. So on your inspection, you're gonna look for past leaks, what kind of pipe materials, is the house old enough that it's cast iron? Because that in itself could be a problem. You're gonna pay attention to water pressure, Minor wear is totally normal, but signs of freezing damage or active leaks or outdated piping, that's something that you don't wanna ignore. So let's bring all of this together. Here is the biggest mistake that buyers make. They think that the goal of an inspection is to find a perfect home. Doesn't exist. A 20-year-old home will not perform like a brand new one. Some things like loose outlets, small cracks, cosmetic wear, there's so much of that that's normal and it's just part of home ownership. What we are looking for is safety issues, major system failures, and big ticket expenses. That's where strategy really comes in. Now, really quickly, I want to pause here because this conversation is not just for buyers, but one more comment for buyers. When you go to negotiate on your inspection and you ask for 57 little things to be done, but you don't highlight the 1 or 2 or 3 big ticket things that really matter to you, most sellers are going to agree to do maybe 10 of the really small things, and the really big things that matter to you aren't going to get addressed. So it's important when you're looking at an inspection report to be able to narrow down what is normal wear and tear. Don't ask a seller to remodel their home for you because you're not happy with the way XYZ looks on the inspection report. You have to figure out what the most important things are to you, and those are the things you need to ask to be repaired. So this conversation again for sellers too, everything we're talking about right now. This is how I help my sellers prepare before they go under contract and how I guide them through inspection negotiations, because buyers are going to see that report. And if they don't understand it, it's going to feel overwhelming and it's going to scare them. So my job is to help you identify what's worth addressing up front. Just like I was just talking about buyers asking for a laundry list of things, you should go through your home prior to listing it and look for things that you can take care of before the buyers maybe even see it because you fixed it ahead of time. Strategically position your home so it shows well during the inspection, and negotiate inspection items without overgiving, because not everything on that report is something you should have to fix or pay for. And when you have an agent who knows the difference between normal and a real issue, that's how you protect your bottom line as a seller. So let's go back to what I said at the beginning. I would never buy a home in Texas if it had this. a severely compromised foundation without a clear understanding of history and stability, because that is the one thing that can continue to move and shift and cost you over time if it's not properly addressed. I mentioned in the foundation section of this video that foundation doesn't have to be a deal breaker, and it doesn't, because if it's a new problem and we know how to address it, and that's great, we can fix it and move on. But if you have a chronic problem with a foundation where it has been clearly repaired and repaired and repaired and it just keeps continuing to be a problem, that is a major red flag. Everything else, there's usually a solution. Roof, HVAC, even those big giant ticket items, there's usually a solution. And here's the truth. A home inspector isn't someone to be afraid of. It's something to be guided through, and that's why having the right agent matters so much. Someone who can help buyers stay calm and confident, someone who can help sellers negotiate strategically, clearly explain what actually matters, and protect you on either side of the transaction. If you're thinking about buying or even selling in Mansfield or anywhere in North Texas, I would love to help guide you through it, because at the end of the day, it's not just about buying a house, it's about confidently stepping into your next chapter. So reach out, message me, or connect with us here at Point Realty. We are here for you.